What's up, everybody? It's Jesse here, and you are watching a redux of the show from last night. This is Comic Conversation, episode 101, except it's on Friday nights. I hope you guys can hear me. I see Iron Galactus is here as first, and Scotty as well, cheering about Friday night. Yes, the weekend is here. Just let me know in the comments if you can actually hear me or not before I continue. Just so you know, the reason I was not able to do the show yesterday, hey, Legend, just somebody let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me. Just want to make sure that that's all good for you. Okay. Okay, perfect. Legend Storm says he can hear me, so good. So I have not been feeling well for the past few days. Just was not able to do a show yesterday, so I do apologize. But wanted to make sure that we still do the show. I didn't want to miss that, so that's why we're here tonight. Chris and May show up. I'm not sure. I know that Justin and Edwin said that they may or may not do the show just because of their schedule. This is kind of a last minute rescheduling, so no worries there. So you're gonna have to put up with me for most of this show. But that being said, that might make it a bit of a shorter show. So as you can see on the screen here, we do have a shot of Captain Marvel. Definitely going to be talking about that as being that the trailer dropped. So if you're here with me in the live chat, I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on the actual trailer. As well as talking about, people later on. So if you're in the comments, you're watching this later. If you're streaming, let me know your comments. What did you think of the trailer? Did you like it? We saw a whole lot there. I don't want to get too far ahead. When we talk about that, we'll do a good job of breaking that down. So we'll get to that. I do see Jackio as well, and Chris is here as well, so I get to put my headphones in. Hang on one second. How's it going, Chris?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Just
good. Yeah, I wasn't sure if you're going to show up or not. I know you said that you may be here, but that was kind of the last I heard. So glad you're able to make it. So
yeah,
not flying solo.
No, I didn't think I had anything else really going on, so I was just kind of just double checking. I know that tonight, like, they're doing a bunch of like the homecoming stuff, the city and everything. So I was just like,
yeah.
Not really a fan of all that stuff. So that's what my wife is. So I'm cool. Here just chilling. So yeah.
Nice. So perfect timing then, right?
Yep.
So sweet. Okay. All right. So we'll get into like some updates in a second. But I was kind of teasing. We were going to talk about the Captain Marvel. I just got home and I'm like out of breath. I wanted to make it on time. So like turn the AC down and I'm still like, ooh. So we're going to talk about the Captain Marvel trailer. Obviously that dropped this week. Joaquin Phoenix. We got some good shots of him as the Joker. Right.
Yep.
Well, as the character and then as the Joker as well, that came out too. So pretty cool. Some new shows coming from Marvel on a couple different platforms, which I think is interesting. So we'll touch on that. Disney Play, ABC, they have an interesting kind of spread out strategy. So we'll touch on that. Some Star Wars stuff. Black Label, obviously, we're going to talk about the Damned. I don't know if you read that or not, but I'm sure you're aware of the news about it and the Batwing. And then thought we'd be a good time to go through Marvel and DC solicits for December. I know that the New York Warriors do a good job of doing what's coming up for the week. And then TiVo over on Lords of the Long Box does a really good job as well of talking about like some sales from the previous month, top sales and kind of analyzing that. So I figured we could kind of move forward with doing the solicitations when those come out monthly, right? So we could talk about what's coming out in a couple months. And Comic Frontline does a really good job of that as well. So shout out to those folks. So I want to make sure I shout them out. I also want to shout out, I see Scotty. I think I said hi to you already. I wanted to shout out Exile State Comics, Justin. Check out his channel as well. He does the new comic list every Monday over on Comic Booked. So check that out as well. And then Strictly Comics. If you're looking for pressing or any type of service, hit him up on his channel, which is Strictly Comics with an X. So I want to make sure I shout those folks out. Okay, what have you been up to in the past week? Anything fun and exciting in Boston?
Just same old work and everything else, and just kind of hoping to get to the end of the week, just to, able to get done with work and, you know, just relax and take it easy for a little bit. Just, you know, work is, I mean, work is work. And,
exactly.
You know, it's just like, you know, kind of a busy week. So I'm just kind of like, you know, I was ready to be done with the week around Tuesday, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So, I hear you on that. Yeah, I had a pretty rough week, health-wise, kind of touch and go, and just not good for a few days. So
yeah,
I'm glad that the timing for it is that was during the week, and now I'm feeling better. So my weekend will be like I can do stuff. So that's good. Yeah, but I guess because I don't really have much of an update. Picked up my books today finally, so that's good. Finally got those. All right, so let's jump into the topics. What say you? So the first thing we have is, of course, what happened today with not today, this week. Todd Phillips. It started with Todd Phillips on social media. He put up a photo of Joaquin Phoenix with the caption, you know, Arthur, right? And then we got some set photos. They're shooting for the Joker right now in New York City. It's taking place like right now. So there's some scenes of Joaquin like out on the street coming out of like the like laugh club, and there's like a clown and stuff. So that's pretty much all I've seen of that. And then today we got a photo of Joaquin with his face painted up as the actual Joker. So I thought that was pretty cool, right? Did you see that?
No. So what I did see the video. It was you know, him talking to somebody else in a clown uniform, basically dressed as a clown, and it was almost like the guy was trying to kind of like mentor him and tell him, like, you know, trying to basically get him to either not quit or just kind of stick with whatever he's doing. And you see that Joaquin kind of has a, you know, just not the best reaction to it. He takes the guy's nose and throws it.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
So it's just like, you know, so it's not like he's not in the Joker persona yet. He still has, you know, his own, it's probably one of those things where he's got bills to pay. He's got to sit there and, you know, he's got real actual worries in life. So it's just like, you know, come on, keep clowning with us. And it's just like, no, take your nose and go away, you know?
Right.
So.
Well, let me show you this. That's so interesting. I have a theory. He's not actually called Arthur Fleck. I think that's a little bit of an Easter egg to cover up whatever his real name is. If you look on the I forget what they call it, the slate, his name it's kind of like taped on, like it's temporary, right? Where it says Arthur Fleck. But if you think about it, A Fleck is what? Affleck?
Yep.
And who's Affleck? Batman.
Yep.
Trying to find it. Camera test with sound. Here we go. All right. So this is what we are talking about. Let me share it, because I want to make sure folks know what we're talking about. I guess while this is loading up, what do you think of the film based on what you've seen? Is it looking more intriguing to you?
Yes.
Here, check this out.
Oh, wow. Oh, he looks like John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah, exactly. He's like serial killer. Like it does have that like late 70s, early 80s sort of vibe to it, right? Even with the street scenes. So, and then there's still shots of that last part, you know. But that's where the stills come from, is that. So Jackie O says he looks like every other Joker. Iron Galactus says he has red eyebrows and the mouth paint is too big. I just can't stand it. And then Iron Galactus also says better not be this final Joker look. The eyebrows were horrible.
No, I doubt that that's his final look.
Yeah. This was captioned with screen test. So that means it's very preliminary.
Yeah. I mean, I would probably look at it and think that he's, you know, more just kind of, it might not even be like that. Might even be the look that he gets in the movie. Like they're just probably doing it to see, you know, what his face looks like with the, you know, just to give an idea what his face looks like with the makeup. Or with any kind of makeup, and then just trying to, you know, build up some hype, I think, at this point.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
Which, you know, is kind of funny because it's not, it's still, as much as, you know, someone will be like, okay, so it's, you know, DC movie, yes and no. It's not, you know what I mean? It's a kind of a stand off to the side. It's an offshoot. It's a spin-off.
Right. It's its own thing. And they're doing a unique story. This isn't like coming from comics, you know, it's Todd Phillips doing his own thing.
Yeah. So what makes it kind of crazy though is that, you know, if it does well, I bet you they're gonna be like, oh, we're gonna adopt this and this and that. Because I'll be honest with you, like when I first had heard Joaquin Phoenix, I didn't have high hopes at all. Like I was really, really skeptical and being like, you know, I don't think he can pull it off. But you know, after seeing, you know, the scenes where he's acting it out and everything, yeah, you know, I could see him doing well. I think that it's just something that it takes a little bit of getting used to because I just don't see him in that role. But I mean, he looks the part. He does look the part.
I think he's just quirky enough and just crazy enough to be able to pull it off, you know?
Yeah.
And let me say this. Most people think of Heath Ledger as kind of the gold standard for it, right? But before that, people were like, oh, Jack Nicholson is the Joker. There's no way anybody could be, you know, a better Joker than Jack Nicholson. And then Heath comes along. So I'd say we haven't seen much of this at all. We haven't really even seen him talk, like nothing. Just a little bit. So give it some time. Give it a chance. I'm not going to promise it's good, say it's bad.
And to be honest, too, that makeup, I mean, I know it's, you know, again, screen test, but that's a callback to the mask that he was wearing in the, you know, the Dark Knight. At least the colors of it and everything. So, and that's the same colors of the makeup that the guy that's talking to him in the street in that scene that they did. I mean, there's no sound. It's just kind of, you're just kind of watching them mime it out. I mean, I'm sure that they're mic'd up so that they can, you know, whatever they're shooting is coming.
But the person filming didn't have the audio range to pick up the sound.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, I think it definitely looks intriguing at this point, and it's definitely going to be something that, you know, may outshine what DC is doing right now. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. They say it's a period piece, you know, but also a cautionary tale is the thing that they keep saying. So, yeah, so interesting. We'll have to keep an eye on that. I'm sure we'll get more, especially being that they're filming in New York City. We're going to see a lot of extra stuff coming out, you know. You know, the website Just Jared, they do a lot of pieces like that where they set pieces and stuff like that. So that's where a lot of that stuff comes from. So cool. All right, so we'll keep an eye on that for y'all. So the next thing we're going to talk to you guys about is I forgot. I completely forgot. Oh, Captain Marvel teaser trailer came out. So I've heard decidedly mixed things about it. There's a couple of camps that say she's Brie Larson, that is kind of a wooden actress, very I don't know. They just weren't feeling it. And then the other camp is people love it. And again, I'm kind of more not in the love it camp. I liked what I saw. I thought it was cool. You can kind of pick up on some good parts of the story. But we haven't heard her say much. Like the things we've heard are pretty much out of context because they're so brief. And she's an award-winning actress. You know, she can pull her weight on screen. So, you know, her woodenness may just be part of her alien nature. She may just be playing the part versus her not being able to emote that well. But all that being said, I like what I saw. I think it's going to be pretty cool. With film-wise, I think Marvel really hasn't done wrong yet. So I'm confident that this is going to be a good movie. I don't know what you think, but
I think that yeah, I agree. Like I feel the same way as far as like. I liked what I saw. You know, I think that people really, you know, are taking a lot into it and they go, like, you know, this better be stupendous because, you know, Marvel did it, and it's just like you got to give it time. And on top of that too, you know, they're really playing on it being heavy that she's not sure who she really is. Like, you know what I mean? So like you said, like that might just be the nature of the Kree, where it's just like, you know, the people that she's around. Maybe they're not that emotional. It's just like, you know, so she's got to, you know, build up relationships again and try to figure out who she is.
Yeah, half of her thing is like she's always like losing her memory and not knowing like what's going on, right? So,
and I mean, so you know, I liked that. I thought that there was some good stuff in there, and I think that you know, I think that if people, you know, kind of just go ahead and maybe look at some of the Easter eggs or try to like, you know, go back through it, they might see something that's a little bit more you know, to their liking.
Right. Yeah. We should mention because everybody else mentions it, the lady punching scene, who is of course a Skrull, but she's still punching an old lady. So that was pretty funny. So I was thinking, like, with this movie, like, we all know who Captain Marvel is. We know Carol Danvers. We know the story. We know who the Kree and the Skrulls are. But casual folks, they may be a little bit confused by it. You know, I don't think that everybody knows what a Skrull is. So they're going to have to do a really good job in this movie of explaining that part of the cosmic world for the casual folks. I liked the blockbuster part. I thought that was cool. We got to see a little bit of something I used to go to every week. So I thought that was pretty cool to see that again. And so people did an interesting like analyzation of the blockbuster. And there was a time when they dropped the video from their name, and that was like the mid 90s or something like that. So that people were saying, oh, well, that would date this as like the early 90s when this happens simply because it has the video on it. So that was pretty interesting. Hey, Comics with Bueller, nice to have you here with us. Miss Hustle said, where is Strictly Comics in Exile State? I was talking about it at the beginning. They are actually doing their thing tonight. They have their lives outside of YouTube. You know, they have real world friends. So they're off doing their thing. And this was a last minute reschedule. I wasn't feeling well yesterday, so and the day before that, for that matter. So I wasn't able to do the show. But we're here. Chris is here somewhere. There he is.
And I just food niches ended up showing up, so I just wanted to grab that. But yeah, to touch on the old lady punching scene. You know, I know some people are like, oh my god, like it's a Skrull. Everybody, take it easy. So I've seen some stuff where it's like, I guess online. I don't even know if it's just like someone trolling or what. But some people was like, how can I was just saying,
I was just saying, like, for us, we know who Skrulls are. We know who the Kree are. We know Carol Danvers is. But for the casual moviegoer, they may be a little bit confused by that because they haven't really introduced Skrulls. Like, you know what I mean? So that may be where some of the confusion lies with the more casual folks.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I know what you mean.
and I heard what you said and everything, you know, where it's just like, you were saying that how it's just like they had to do a good job introducing them, and I think they will. I think they will.
Yeah.
I mean, because this is a big moment for them to go ahead and introduce, Skrulls and just show who they are, what they can do, and everything like that. And it's definitely going to be something that like you said, people in the know are going to have a lot more time to sit there and dissect and think, oh, this is pretty cool. But people that don't know, who've never seen Skrulls, who don't know what this is all about, it's going to be kind of tough, just because it's they're going to be shrouded in secrecy the whole time. So it's just going to be, unless they do, and I don't know, you're not going to do like origins and nothing like that, but like unless there's a lot of like kind of like callbacks to different things, or just like a lot of different just little, I guess, all these little just caveats that come out, and they're all going to end up being Skrulls plotting and things like that. Then you get kind of the nature of them. So
I hope that they don't give too much away too soon. Like what I would really like is for the Skrulls to kind of be, and I know they're going to touch on the Kree Skrull War, but kind of have them saved a little. Like, you know how with Winter Soldier, like Hydra was like the shadowy organization, like pulling strings, like kind of that like espionage sort of. You know what I'm trying to say?
Oh, yeah.
So I hope that, like, for the Skrulls, it's kind of the same thing. Like, they know something's going on. There's an infiltration into S.H.I.E.L.D. or whatever it is, and they have to figure it out. But they don't like give too much away too soon, because I want that like tension there. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, no, I think so too. Just to kind of make it, because you can't have them just like, oh, we're on to you. You know what I mean? I mean, because if you look at it, one aspect that I thought was kind of cool, and that's something that people might not pick up on, is that. So you have a young Nick Fury in there, but Nick Fury, younger Nick Fury, and the first thing he says there is like, before you showed up, I was about to hang it up. So you have a Nick Fury that's pretty much like he's kind of get that whole lack of confidence going on, and he's kind of pulling a Danny Glover where it's just like, yeah, like I'm done. Like how in Lethal Weapon, Danny Glover's just like, yeah, I'm finished. Like I just want to retire.
Yeah,
like I'm too old.
exactly.
And I think that it's not quite an age thing for him. I think it's just one of those things where it's like this just ain't for me.
Yeah,
and
he's seen enough already.
Yeah, and he's got this crazy assignment that like changes everything. So
right,
I
like it seems like her ship she crashes. They have to like report to the blockbuster, usually with Coulson, and like that's how they meet her when she comes back to Earth. Like her ship like crashes.
So, and the thing too. Here's the thing that I say about it, which is like but there's always going to be differing opinions and everything like that. But don't be surprised if this one pulls $1 billion, just like or it kind of surprises people like Black Panther did, because like they're going to. It's too much before Avengers. They're gonna want to get that hype going. So I feel like they gotta throw everything they can into this to make it good, and then just be like, all right. And in 2 months, guess what else is coming? You know what I mean? So
exactly.
I think this is gonna be a good movie, and I think that people are gonna have a good time with it.
If they're smart, and they are, they're really gonna hype up that like pre-Avengers 4. Like this really ties into that. You have to see this, like the quantum realm or whatever. Like I think she pulled her power from the quantum realm, right?
That would be smart. That would be cool. Do you know
that makes?
I was bored at work, and do you know what I thought about? Which just when it comes to this, there's so much that goes on with how they have the snap. You know what I mean? Is Jesse frozen? Am I frozen? Hold on. Hold everything.
Gonna hype up that. All right. Am I back?
I was gonna say, am I frozen? Are you frozen? I didn't know who was frozen.
I thought you were frozen, and I was still talking, so I don't know.
Me too.
It was me. It was my fault. Yeah.
What I was
we're
saying,
back.
What I thought would be kind of funny is, we don't like, as much as everyone's like, oh, she's gonna be in, Avengers and blah blah. How do we know? Because what if she didn't survive the snap? Like that would be the ultimate way to troll Marvel. Just be like, you know what? So all of a sudden there's like an end credit scene or something like that, and like so how you see like what would be hilarious is if when Samuel L. Jackson or Nick Fury is in their mother, and then all of a sudden she just goes fuck, and then like she goes away too. It's like that would be hilarious, because the snap it didn't matter who you were, like powerful or not, the snap still took people away. So alien and human alike. So yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Like honestly, like I wouldn't have a problem with that. But
so what I was saying when I got kind of snapped away, according to Jacko. I was talking about how I feel like her power probably comes from the quantum realm.
Yeah.
Right. That's where she derives her power. That would really give her unlimited power. That would be they're promising that she is the most powerful, right? She could go into binary mode basically and be like the most powerful character in the cinematic universe. The quantum realm would allow that to happen. That would allow them also, if she's tapping into that, to be able to tap into the quantum realm itself, maybe the time vortexes, right? That they talked about in Ant-Man. Maybe they are able to like time travel with that. But I think that they're really going to heavily draw on the quantum realm, and that's going to play big into this. And I guess, we'll have to see. But yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. I don't know. So that's what I was talking about when I had my technical difficulties.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that it's going to be a good one. I think it's going to help. I think it's going to help bring up that hype for Avengers 4. That's really going to get people to be like, wow, all right, like I'm if I didn't have a ticket before, I'm getting one now, because everybody wants to see how it's going to shake out or what's going to happen next with that. So
exactly. And, it's funny too. You mentioned the beeper in the trailer. He has a beeper. It's the same one.
Yep.
Just without, I guess, the Kree tech added onto it. But if you look at it, there's some stills of them side by side. Same button, same shape, everything, just with some more add-ons in the present day one. So, yeah. So, little things like that, attention to detail like that, they're really, it's impressive how they do it,
Oh, yeah.
So.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, actually, I should. I don't know if he's saving it for later, but like I don't know if you saw the picture. That the Russo brothers went ahead and put out there.
Which one?
So on Twitter, they put out a picture, and it's supposed to basically it's for the Avengers. So you see and it says "Look hard." And
I did. Yeah, the black and white photo. Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone's trying to figure out what it could be, and what it really is, and this and that, and it's just like I don't think you're gonna get your answers just from that. Like we have to wait to see what else is going on. But like, I mean, people are thinking that it's title of the movie.
People are like looking at the shape of the ladders and stuff, and like finding the word "end game" in there, and like I'm like that's kind of a stretch. But
find an end game. Some people are saying that like, well, if you look over in that corner where you have that H, it's like an upside down 4. They saying the Fantastic Four is coming. Someone I had seen had put the two ladders putting together was just like AA, so Avengers Assemble, and I'm just like, I don't know about assemble. Maybe not. I mean, I look at it where it's just like it's a smart way to get everybody thinking, because if that's what they're going to do to try to see if they can just get the teaser for just a title, that's a smart way of doing it, because everybody's kind of freaking out trying to figure out what it is. And so I mean, and they can dangle that for a while, because I mean we're in September, like you don't have to really get into anything solid, I would say, until you get to like around like Christmas time. Like then you see something a little bit more solid, maybe a pretty still cryptic but more revealing teaser or something like that, maybe something that they reveal around the time of the Super Bowl, stuff like that. So but yeah, man, it's just like it was a pretty cool one. And I was just, and then they did show that there's this big turbine that's in the and it was in, I think, Infinity War, when was it Sam is speaking to, it was in one of the movies where War Machine is talking, I think, to Thunderbolt Ross, and it's just kind of in the back. It's the same exact thing. So that people are saying that maybe it's it has something to do with getting into the quantum realm, or some type of turbine that can harness that kind of energy. So who knows? But like it's funny that they're starting to play the mind games already. That's kind of a fun thing.
It's a smart campaign. Yeah, so I was looking for the picture. Yeah. So it sounds like Stark Tech will be mixed with some Kree Tech. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or even Ant-Man stuff. Yeah, the Pym stuff. So this is the picture Chris was talking about.
Yeah. So that like light wooden what looks like at this point like kind of like a lowercase n, it extends up a little bit. So that's what some people are saying. Oh no, that's a 4 for the Fantastic Four, and I'm like, I don't think that quickly. And then but under that is that's that device that I was talking about. And then if you look at, so Tony sitting in the middle.
Left.
Yeah. So and then.
Oh, you know what I heard also? It says like Nico on it or something like that. Nikan. And if you switch the letters around, it's Ican, as in Carl Ican.
Yep.
From the 90s, who pretty much like saved Marvel for a second and then tried to steal it. Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, from this picture, everybody's trying to derive something and being like, yeah, no, there's this. I mean, it shows everything. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, it does to the Russo brothers because they know what's going on. But GPAP says A is for Annihilus. That would be kind of cool. Because I'm trying to figure out, like, that's the one thing I'm thinking. If they're going to be time traveling and things like that, I have a feeling that there's going to be a couple of different villains that you're going to see. Thanos is going to be the main one, but I think there's going to be a little, a couple of people that might kind of stand in their way, like maybe like a couple cameos. So that would be kind of cool if Annihilus was involved, or like involved.
It was annual 4, right? I wasn't gonna say that now that they have the Fantastic Four, that would be a possibility. I know he debuted in Fantastic Four, but yeah, I think that he's an inevitability. Annihilus, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, because I feel like you'd want to have him in there at some point.
Annual 6.
But they said that GPAP was saying that like you had to take it into Photoshop and check out the contrast. But there's a Annihilus figure, figure of Annihilus, back on the lowest shelf. So it's just like
in the negative zone.
I guess because that's where he lives.
Exactly.
So
how meta of them.
Who knows? Just there's so much to it, and it's just like it's all mind games right now. Like they're trying to mess with us and trying to get like us specifically as the comic fans. They're just trying to see what they can pull out of us, and make their hype even bigger. So I'm excited for it because I just think that it's fun. Just just to kind of play this game and do the little scavenger hunt that they're trying to take us on.
Yeah, I know. It's working. We're over here staring at this black and white photo for
exactly
God knows how long. So, yeah,
like,
so it's working.
People at work are sitting there like, I'm sure there's people whose boss is like, hey, are you still looking at that? Like, what about that report? Oh, 10 minutes. Just give me. I know this.
Here's what you do: you make it your screensaver or your background, so you don't have to stare at it.
I haven't opened any programs today.
I don't know. Slow. The computer's slow today.
This is big. Trust me.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So I'm hoping we'll get more of a full trailer. I don't know if New York Comic Con is too soon for that, but maybe, maybe. I don't know when they would do it. Maybe like Mary Poppins when that comes out in December. Like how that, you know what I mean? Because that would be obviously Disney too. But that's like their next like really big movie, I think. Yeah, I think
I mean, because I can't see it being put in with Aquaman, even though November would be a good time to go ahead and put something. I mean, maybe they'd be like, all right, we're gonna throw this in there with that just because it's an action movie and it's comic related, and But I'm sure that they're both like very specific to keep each other's properties out of the trailer stream for their movies. So
yeah, and then December is a really crowded month. Well, actually, there's a couple really crowded points, but Mary Poppins up a week just to like fuck with Aquaman. Yep. But then you got Alita's coming out and Bumblebee all at the same time. So, I know it's like holiday time, there's extra time off, but that's going to be, how we do the predictions for the box office. Those are going to be some interesting ones. A lot of extra factors there. So,
yeah. Oh, actually, you know what? I think that November would be a good time just for the fact that Wreck-It Ralph is coming out November 24th.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, you could have that, or any of the sneak it in with the Bumblebee or whatever else, just like you said, because they're trying to go ahead and they're trying to go ahead and get that out there, just to mess with, like you said, just to mess with Aquaman. Like
exactly.
How better to kill that hype just to be like, hey, check this trailer. I'm like, no.
Exactly.
Watch Aquaman, damn it.
Right. And since we're talking about that, I want to mention that Daredevil Season 3 was announced for October 19th.
Yep.
About a month from now, right? So that's pretty cool. We're finally getting that. We're going to see that whole story, right? That's going to be pretty cool to see all that. It's been since 2016 since we had a season. I guess you could count Defenders, but not really, because it was the whole team. So that's pretty cool. Finally coming back. But the reason I'm mentioning it now, based on what you said, is that I think that it was originally going to be later in the year, right?
Yeah.
But maybe a month ago, I'm talking like I did it. DC announced Titans for DC streaming, DC Universe.
Yep.
October 14th. Exactly 1 week later, Daredevil's launching. So I think that what they're doing is kind of forcing some people's hand.
Yeah.
Netflix, that is. And I know that not everybody has like all the disposable income that, you or I may have, or, some of the folks in the chat. So they may have to choose. Like I either need to sign up for DC Universe or buy or keep my Netflix, one or the other, right? Just because that's like an extra expense. So releasing Daredevil right around the same time as they release Titans, I think is kind of a strategy, and also kind of to steal some of the headlines leading up to it. Do you agree with that? Like I think it was going to be like maybe November when it came out, but they pushed it up because of the Titans announcement.
And for that exact reason, where it's just like you have to make a choice of both, and then DC has the leverage to say like, look, we're just going to keep bringing you this same type of stuff. Like Netflix, who knows when they're going to give you the, superhero stuff, or,
Right.
you have all this other stuff there, you have other content, but this is just, comics, related content all the time. So, you have to make a choice. And yeah, that's, I mean, it could work for them or it could work against them, because I mean, people that are already established into Netflix, may not want to leave, or may not have the money to go ahead and just jump over to DC.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So, it's getting kind of, the competition's ramping up on that. And, the only thing that they're going to be able to, I guess, on the Marvel side is that Disney streaming service isn't coming out for a little bit longer. So that will end. I think that will be where you see a lot of people, drawing lines where it's like, all right, I'm either going DC or I'm going, to the Disney. I can't do both because I can't afford both. So, we'll see.
I just want to. Rob was asking us about if he's worried about, and we kind of talked on this a little bit before he came in, but since he asked it about Brie Larson, so jumping back to that for a second, are we worried that she may be like a one-note actress, that type of thing, based on what we saw in the trailer? So I'll just kind of say what I said again, and you could chime in afterwards. But yeah, so it kind of was one note from her, but it was a couple quick scenes where we heard her or saw her, and it was kind of out of context, and it doesn't really tell us what was going on around those scenes. And also, she's an alien. She's kind of got that a little bit. So I think that she is playing to that more than not really knowing how to act. I mean, she's an Academy Award-winning actress. She's won a Golden Globe, SAG Awards, all these things. Like, she was really good in The Room and a couple other things. I think it was The Room. I think. So, and I'm confident in what Marvel's been doing on the movie side. I say movie side because there's been some faltering on the TV side. But I think that we need to see, this is a teaser trailer. That's why it's really quick. I think that we need to wait to see at least the full trailer to be able to really fully judge it. A little bit more context, some new scenes. We didn't really get to see much of her about like when she was a human, right? We kind of only saw her as the alien, as the Kree, in this foreign, what's foreign to her Earth. So I see what you're saying about the one note, but I think that we have it out of context at this point. So let's withhold judgment until we get the full trailer, is my response to you, Rob. So I hope that makes sense.
And I think that's the best way to actually like categorize it. It's just out of context, because you can't really you can't judge too much from just this, just for all the reasons you said. Where it's just like, she's not quite at home where being on Earth and just kind of seeing what everything is. She's kind of just trying to figure out who she really is, and I mean, we don't even have an idea how long she's been with the Kree and all the rest of it. So I would say wait for the context, wait for the substance to kind of show a little bit more of what she's about before going ahead and saying, oh, this is going to be crap or this is going to be good.
Yeah, I will say this. I do agree as well with what he said. Her Kree uniform is a little frumpy.
Yeah. And that might be done kind of on purpose, just to kind of get you, all right, so this is what she looks like in this, and then, oh, look at this Captain Marvel uniform right now. This is some, this looks good. I think that's kind of just just to get rid of the old and get into like the new and really like just cool look that she's gonna have for the rest of the movie. And
what was that movie where they said if you stand next to your ugly friend, it makes you look hotter?
Oh, I don't remember.
I forget. You remember that scene? It was a comedy movie. It's kind of like that. Like put the ugly uniform next to the good looking one, and it makes the better one look even better, because all you're comparing it to is the ugly. I don't remember the movie, but
I've heard it. I can't think of it myself. So
yeah. All right. So that's that. All right. So we're talking about like TV stuff, right? I know my opinion is that Marvel's faltered a few times, but they're still pushing forward with some stuff. And the things they have faltered on, in fairness, they dropped really quickly, right? Like in Humans. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I never really got into, and that was on ABC. And this is where the next news piece comes from. Allan Heinberg, He's done The Catch, OC, Party of Five, Scandal, a bunch of things. Grey's Anatomy. He's been attached to that. It's in his credits.
Mm-hmm.
You can read all that on IMDb. ABC, same channel. They put out a production commitment. So there's a couple layers to that. Wanting a TV series based on some lesser known Marvel superheroes. So the initial thought there is like A-Force or Marvel Divas or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He also wrote the Wonder Woman film. He wrote Wonder Woman comics. He co-created Young Avengers, right, with Jim Chung. So that should be interesting. That's pretty much all we know about it right now, is that they put out a production commitment. It doesn't mean they've committed to a pilot or a season yet. They're just having him do the writing and kind of put things together to have a better feel of what it will look like before they fully commit to it. So yeah, so interesting. I don't know, A-Force, Marvel Divas, anything like that appeal to you?
Maybe not Marvel Divas, A-Force, yeah. You know, I mean, if it's going to be something that, you know, has a freshness to it that like we haven't seen before, I mean, you know, I'm always good to check it out because, you know, the way I see it is just like you got to give everything a shot just to see whether it's good, bad, in between. So we'll see.
Right.
You know, it all has potential. On the TV side, you know, there's a lot more restrictions that you can go with. You know, and I think that they're going to go ahead and try to erase from everybody's memory, you know, Inhumans and how just really bad that was. And you know,
notice how long they've waited to like commit to something else, right? Inhumans was last year or something, right? And they're finally coming back with something else.
Which, you know,
he is attached to, he co-created, of course, Young Avengers. Now that is something that I'd really like to see. Like, you know, Cloak and Dagger does well. Runaways did really well on Hulu. Things like that. Like, I think that Young Avengers would fit into that same demographic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Just because, I mean, to have you know, Hulkling, Wiccan, you know, all these young heroes that kind of look up to the Avengers, especially if it's something where you know,
and that could tie in amazingly well to the movies. You know, you could refer to them but not have to use them. You know, and it's just primed for that.
Yeah, and it's just, and you can still have, you know, I mean, you could have a cameo or two. You could even have Coulson, you know, I guess still kind of be involved and just like, hey man, like you guys are gonna be like the Avengers are solving the big things, like you know what I mean, that saving the universe, but you guys, we need someone on the ground to be still helping out with, you know, all these different things, and for you to be able to learn to, you know, use your powers for, you know, to be heroes. So
like the AAA, the farm team, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, that would be cool. I think that would be kind of a fun show to put on. So
that may be more appropriate, and that would tie into something else we're going to talk about for Disney Play, the streaming service.
Yep.
Right, and I guess I could mention it now. They did announce, I think it came from Variety, who had the exclusive on it. Marvel didn't comment yet, but apparently Disney wants to do a whole bunch of heroes. Loki and Scarlet Witch were mentioned first on the streaming service as a show. And basically the idea is to be giving Avengers from the movies who don't have their standalone movies a show or whatever, you know, a film, but do it over there. So that they first mentioned, and they did say that Hiddleston and what's her name, Elizabeth Olsen, would be reprising the roles for the service.
I mean, you'd have to, because I mean, to have Loki and not be Hiddleston, and you know, Scarlet Witch not be, you know, Elizabeth Olsen would I mean, that would be such a big, like, just misstep as far as how do you get this thing rolling? You know, your first two big shows that you want to put on there, and what the hell is this Loki? I don't know who this guy is. You know what I mean? So yeah, you know, that I think has to go out. You have to spend the money, and you have to get the right people in there. You know, if you're gonna do something based on those characters, somebody who's been established, you got to get those people into those roles. So
for sure. And I mean, Hiddleston's done TV before, and above and beyond that, they're apparently reportedly going to be dropping about $25 million per episode.
Oh my god!
Length is about 8 episodes, I would say. So you're putting total production for a season at $200 million. That's movie spending territory. So
exactly.
quality wise, I mean, they spend a lot of money on them. So
yeah. But you know what? I mean,
so,
but that's going to be huge. I mean, just because if that gets over and makes people happy, I mean, you know, people are going to join on the. I mean, just for name recognition alone, you're going to have a lot of people subscribe, you know, and then to have those things, you know, be good. And then, you know,
smart.
that also makes me wonder if they're paying that kind of money for, you know, Marvel shows and stuff like what are they going to do with the Star Wars show? Like that. I'm already like that makes me excited because I'm like, all right, if they're gonna put 200 million behind this show, then the Star Wars live action show they're gonna throw either the same or more at, and they're really gonna try to like, you know, make this work and make it really really cool to be at. So
I know it's at least 100 million.
Yeah,
which is it's still a lot. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you. So they were saying characters. Avengers characters from the movies that haven't had their own yet.
Yep.
So my first thought was Hawkeye would be cool.
Yep.
Especially there's been some references in the movies with Hawkeye and Black Widow about something that happened in Budapest. They mentioned it in a couple of different movies. So I think like a prequel movie would be cool.
Yep, definitely.
Talking about kind of that time frame. I know they are working on a Black Widow movie. It's very preliminary. We don't know really anything about it other than obviously, you know, maybe Scarlett Johansson, you know, that type of thing. But this kind of raises the likelihood that it may show up over there versus, you know. So there's that. I think those would be the first two I want to see other than these two. I did want to say, you know, the things that we're talking about, we're going to mention Star Wars, Captain Marvel, Loki, Scarlet Witch, James Bond. There's a whole bunch of stuff. If you look in the description for the video, there's a few links. We always put the list of topics we're going to talk about. But I have a link for Amazon as well. So there's a whole bunch of things in there if you need statues, omnibuses, like there's Funkos, artifacts, you know, those types of statues. What do you call it? What's it called? Marvel Select. But then there's some like graphic novels and things. I put in like Loki, Agent of Asgard, which I think would be good for them to use for this. You know, some Blu-rays and stuff like James Bond collections and stuff. So if we're ever talking about this in the show, and you want to read about it or kind of like, you know, you're like, oh yeah, there was a Funko I wanted. Like there's one of Captain Marvel with her helmet on.
Yep.
One without it. They're both on there. So you can like check them out, order them from Amazon real easy. So just want to mention that really quick. But who would you want to see? I know I mentioned the two, but are there any other characters that you would want to see? And again, the caveat is that they have to have not had their own movie yet.
Well, let's see. Well, so you have, I mean, I think the biggest one and the one that you won't have a chance to see is the Hulk. I think people would love to see.
He's had his movies though. They've changed the character, but
yeah, like the Hulk would be cool. I think
War Machine.
War Machine would be cool. Falcon would be cool.
Yeah.
You know,
Vision, like his family thing. I don't know if they would do that. It was a good series, but I don't know if.
But probably not. But you know, but I'm trying to think who else you can kind of go with. I mean, there's a bunch of people that, like, you know, would be cool to see. I mean, I'm thinking further down and everything. It's just like, you know.
So yeah, so that's good.
I guess situational stuff too, like stuff that they didn't bring up necessarily. Some of the things that have been brought up in movies but just haven't happened on screen. Like if you were to see, like let's say, you know, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, like how they, you know, like kind of do like an origin on them, or like how, or when they first started, you know, experiencing their powers, like after Strucker, you know, basically got them to be superpowered beings. Like you know, what did they have them do? Like what were they doing before they took on the Avengers? You know, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah. So
and it gives a chance to bring back Quicksilver and be like, hey, see, you know, they wasted you. You should have been in more stuff.
Right, exactly. So here's an interesting question. They mentioned Loki and Scarlet Witch. Loki had his neck snapped in Infinity War.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
There's a theory out there where it's kind of a stretch. But somebody broke down all of like some scenes and stuff where he was holding things or whatever, and ascertained that Loki is right-handed. When he hands the Infinity Stone to Thanos, he does it with his left hand. So people are thinking, well, that was like not actually him. That was like a projection or something. Like he actually used the stone to trick him to, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's that theory out there. The other theory is that this is post-snap and he actually does come back despite promises that he's not. And then the third, here's a scroll possibly. And then the fourth possibility here, I guess, is that it's like a prequel thing, or like Agents of Asgard is what I was thinking, right? What do you think? Any of those? Like...
I don't. All right. So it's funny because I was talking with a coworker about this earlier today, actually. And what I think is, we don't know. All right. So we don't know how, I guess, how well he can do his projections, how, how much control he has over them and everything like that. Like, because the thing is, he always kind of just jumps out of them. Like, I mean, as soon as he achieves what he wants, it just goes away. So it is possible that it was a projection. It's possible that he, went ahead and projected it and, hid away from everything. And at that point, Thanos didn't have the reality stone. So he can't manipulate his reality. So basically, like, so here's Loki using his power, Thanos destroyed the ship, and meanwhile he's just kind of hanging out and not worrying about it. So then, he lets that projection go after everything's all said and done, and then goes to a safe part of the universe away from everything, only to show up later and, maybe help things out, or just kind of stay out of everything because he's afraid that he's going to get killed by Thanos. So, that's definitely a possibility. I mean, it's a hard one to kind of, I guess that for me, that's the most plausible, because the reality stone wasn't in his possession yet, in Thanos' possession. So that's the only thing I think it has going for it. The other stuff about, right-handed, left-handed, that's just really nitpicking.
It's a stretch, right? Yeah. But it's a theory that's floating around, so that's why I mentioned it.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't say I ascribe to it. I just said.
Oh no. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, there's a million probably theories out there that's just like, oh no, and then this, and and if you look at this, he blinks with this eye instead, and so yeah. I mean, it's just really trying to, put it together, because people, I think, on the one hand, don't want to believe that he's actually gone and figure that he can still help out. So
yeah, there's a thing called confirmation bias, where you know what that is, right? Yep. So that's what people are doing here, basically. They don't want him to be dead, so they're like putting all the pieces together to make it so that it's true.
Gee, and this is why he's still there. He's just sleeping. Like don't think anything on it. But the fact that they're gonna go ahead, or that they are planning to do a series or a movie or something with him, that helps. That helps to maybe reassure that he could be alive. Maybe not. I mean, we'll see though. We'll see, just because, I don't, let's see. Rob said, doesn't Solid Matter always go through his projections? Not exactly. Because I remember when they had Thor, when Thor got his arm cut off, I mean, it's still, it didn't kind of just flash through it. Like, I mean, the arm did come off. So I think that, he's got, I mean, the only thing that could explain it is that he basically controls it as long as he wants. So, I mean, he whether it's through telepathy, whatever different amount of things. I mean, I don't think he'd be able to really manipulate that many people all at once, though. So that's why I say that, like, it's a stretch. Even that, for me, it's even a stretch to say that, oh, it's just a projection, because I mean, that's a hard thing to pull off and say, yeah, no, that's it. And the only thing, like I said, the only thing that gives it credence is that Thanos didn't have the reality stone yet, so he couldn't manipulate reality at that point.
Right. Yeah. We have a question here from Kid Kuga. He says, how can you guys see the MCU, introducing She-Hulk? I don't know if they will, to be honest with you. I know that the character rights for Hulk lie with Universal, so they can't right now actually make a standalone Hulk movie because of that. Yeah. Universal has like the rights of first refusal, and there's a whole bunch of stuff with their contract. but they can. There's a catch there. They can. That's why you see it here. Use the Hulk in a team movie, so they can use him in the Avengers, and that's why he was in the Thor movie, right? And they're kind of doing a Hulk story, but he's like a subplot throughout the other movies. So he has like a 3-story arc. They're 60% of the way through it. But that's kind of the extent of where they would see him. If anything, I would think that they would try to work Jennifer Walters into Netflix. Like, I think that they would first introduce her as a lawyer.
Yeah.
And kind of just tease that for a while and wait, you know? But it's kind of tricky because of the character rights, how to use some of these. So that's kind of one of those last ones that, like, they have everything except Hulk, like, except the Universal stuff. So I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah, because I was gonna say the only thing that they could do is, I mean, maybe get away with introducing Jennifer Walters and as a lawyer. I don't know if they could, you know, I don't know if they could put her in as She-Hulk. You know, but yeah, that's the only way I would see it happen is that she's a lawyer, and you know, they're gonna go ahead and kind of give her you know, just that law background, and yeah, through Netflix, like, you know, oh, like who's, you know, we're gonna meet over at this law firm, and I'm Jennifer Walters. I'm Matt Murdock. How are you? You know,
exactly right. Or, yeah, a placard with their name on it, the courthouse or something.
Yeah,
you know?
something that's, you know, really just a quick cameo or something that you can just kind of dismiss and be like, okay, well, that's her, but it's not really her. While they figure out how they're gonna bring her in. I mean, just because, you know, it's going to be a tough one to see how that goes because, like you said, it's Universal. So I don't really know if Universal wants to, you know, go ahead and make any kind of deals with, you know, Disney or Marvel at this point.
They make way too much money on the theme park stuff. Like, you think that the movies and stuff make a lot of money. The amount of money that Disney and Universal and, you know, some of the others make off of their theme parks, blows that out of the water. Like, as long as they keep in good faith with the contract, it remains in perpetuity. And they are holding on to that thing. They are not letting that go.
Think of it this way. You pay maybe, you know, let's say what, $20 for a movie ticket, and you can, you know, you can go and see movies all the time. People are like, oh, all these millions of people want to see movies. Yeah. You're paying over $100 for a park ticket to Disney. Yeah. And millions of people go to Disney throughout the year. So yeah, that's beyond cash money. Forget anything else. I mean, just like at $100 a pop just to walk inside the place, forget, you know, like that's where all the money lies. So Universal, that's why I say, like, I highly doubt Universal's going to want to be like, yeah, let's negotiate. Like, no, we're going to keep our Hulk ride and make all this money, and, you know, you guys can use them in your team movies, but don't think about putting any sort of solo adventures and other characters. You got to talk to us first. So there won't be any Doc Samson or any of that type of stuff, you know.
Yeah. So I hope that answers your question. Kid Kuga, sorry. I want to make sure I had the name right. So, all right, cool. So the next thing, I know this isn't really comics, but it's something that I really love. I have the whole series somewhere. So it's been a long time. I don't know where. Oh, over here. All the Blu-rays. And they are, again, they're on the Amazon link. You get the Blu-rays. I got the books up there. If you ever read the books, they're different than the movies. Like, different, like, they're familiar enough, but still different, that there's like tons of surprises. So if you like James Bond, I highly recommend reading the books as well. They're a little bit dated, you know, just because they're from like the 60s, but really cool stuff. Anyways, the reason I'm talking about this is we have finally Bond 25. We don't know the name. It's coming out February 14th, 2020. But we have Cary Fukunaga, who's confirmed as the director for the film. It used to be Danny Boyle. I don't know if you remember. He had some issues with like Daniel Craig and the Broccoli's and stuff. And he left. So now they have Fukunaga. Fukunaga won an Emmy in 2014 and acclaim the next year. Really high acclaim, actually, for True Detective. Do you remember that series? Yep. So he did like the whole first season of that. So
season 1 was a good season. Season 2 kind of.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice, to be honest with you. I'm sure it'll be a good choice, but it's an interesting choice. And it's just it's a trivia thing. He's the first American director for the Bond franchise.
That's kind of cool.
So they really always try to do all things British, you know,
Yeah.
whether it's the actor, even like the suits that he wears are all British, you know, the cars.
Aston Martin,
Yep. So they try to do that with the cast and stuff as well. So
yeah.
but I'm happy. Whatever you agree, disagree, I'm really happy that the Bond franchise is moving forward and we're getting another movie. And I also really like Daniel Craig as Bond. So I'm happy about it.
Yeah.
So Rob says, got to go. The Astros game is about to start. Have a great night. You as well. Enjoy the game. Thanks for stopping by. I'm glad to have you here, and love the question as well. So thanks for asking that. So
yeah.
Cool. Are you a Bond fan?
So
Or no?
I'm about the same amount of a Bond fan as I am a Star Trek fan. Where it's just like,
Okay.
it wasn't my choice to watch that stuff. It's just like my parents like those movies and stuff. So it's just like, you know, I've seen all the Star Treks and I've seen a lot of the Bonds. I saw Bonds up till about Timothy Dalton, and then when I got old enough that, like, you know, when Pierce Brosnan came around, I was like, I don't have to watch this shit anymore, so I'm not dealing with this. So, but yeah, I've seen a bunch of them, and you know, there was something I liked, there's something I didn't like, but the thing that I like about you know, I did actually go out and buy I think it was Quantum Solace. So I actually purchased a Bond movie because I was like, all right, this is a little different. I like where they're going with this.
Thought you would have got Casino Royale first.
Yeah, I think that I just kind of, you know, went for Quantum Solace because it just had happened to come out, and I was like, oh, I'll buy this. Yeah. You know, yeah, like Connery's Bond is very good. Like, I mean, that I can say. I did enjoy them when they were the Connery Bonds. Roger Moore wasn't bad, but you know,
it was we weren't supposed to get Dalton, at least for a while.
Yeah.
Pierce Brosnan won that when they did the casting for it.
Yep.
But he had a scheduling commitment with Remington Steele. So
yeah.
Go do that, and then they said, okay, well, now we'll use Dalton, and then that's why he came after that show was done.
Yeah.
But
that's what I remember was Remington Steele, and I'm like, this is basically like, and I remember being young and being like, this guy's like James Bond, but like, and I remember too, because like, I mean, I was a young kid with Timothy, and I didn't like Timothy. I'm glad though, in a way, that Pierce Brosnan wasn't in those, because the Timothy Dalton movies weren't that good, man. I wasn't a fan of those. Yeah. But my dad seemed to love them. He's like, oh, I was like,
I like them all. I like them all, good or bad. You know, quirky, weird, fun, awesome. You know, whatever it is, I enjoy them. And their movies, like especially like Dr. No and things like that. You can they never get old. You know, you can. It's one of those movies where you can just watch it over and over again. And,
well, I think the cool thing too with having you know, this dude directing it. Yeah, because I mean, and you can't go wrong with that, because I mean, he's just a cool dude, man. It's just like you can't really mess with that.
Oh, this one's good. Goldfinger. Gotta love Goldfinger.
Yeah, I mean, like those were just good movies. But yeah, you know, to have you know, Fukunaga, you know, directing that, it's kind of cool, because you know, you may get more of a cerebral type Bond, where it's more of a mystery driven thing. I mean, you have spies, but like, you know, just because I go back to his season on True Detective, and it was really good, and it was, you know, there was a lot of stuff that was like, you know, cerebral and psychological. It's like, you know, trying to get into like
character driven.
Yeah, and you know, the Yellow King, who was the villain in that show, I mean, like he developed him good, because it was just like, you know, he had some, I mean, he was kind of scary at points. He was just like, you know, really just creepy at times. It was just like, man, this guy, I mean, he was a memorable villain. So it's just like, you know, to have somebody that can do stuff like that, you know, working on James Bond is a good thing, because you know, Bond villains are just as memorable as Bond himself. You know, and everything else. So it's like, you know, you have to have, you know, somebody who can craft those type of characters and knows how to direct this type of stuff. So, you know, I think it's a good choice. You know, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, for sure. And there's been talk, you know, especially with Henry Cavill, and we were talking about it last week, the potential for him to not be Superman anymore.
Yeah.
So he was second in running with Daniel Craig, all the way back in the 2006, I think, 2005, Casino Royale, when he came on. It came down to Henry Cavill, and Daniel Craig. So a lot of people are like, he's kind of next in line for that mantle. And I think it was right after that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's right after that he did Man from U.N.C.L.E., or not long after that, which is kind of a sort of a similar thing, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be interesting. Cavill as Bond. I know there's talk of him, and a lot of people want Idris Elba as Bond as well.
Elba would be cool. I mean, like a lot of people like him. You know, just in general, just because he's done really good in a lot of movies. You know, and TV show. Like I mean, Stringer Bell is not a Bond character at all. He's just, you know, Baltimore gangster. But like, I mean, that's really what launched him into people's minds as being, you know, just a great actor. Because it's like, I remember how shocked people were when they were just like, Stringer Bell's not American. Like Stringer Bell's from England. What? And it's just like, yeah, no. Like Idris Elba is from England, man. It's just like that dude is not like when he talks, he's like, yes, sire. How, you know what I mean? It's just like that. Like he's tea and crumpets all the way. Like he's not the dude that you see, like, you know, just hanging out in Baltimore, you know, doing all the crimes that he's doing in the show. So, you know, it's a cool. I think he'd be a cool choice. I think that though, just in the climate of everything right now, I think that you'd hear a lot of people who, you know, wouldn't be so happy of his choice to be, you know, a Bond, because there's always been, you know, it's always been a white guy, and, you know, to have a black guy take it up, it's kind of weird, and it's not really James Bond. And
there's nothing, if you think about who Bond is, there's nothing that really says he has to be a
exactly guy, and I think that's what people forget about Bond, is it's like it's more of just an identity. It's kind of like if you've ever watched the movie The Princess Bride, you know how Wesley's like, I'm the Dread Pirate Roberts, but I'm not really the Dread. I'm like the 5th Dread Pirate Roberts. Like I just keep the mantle going for this guy, and that's all Bond is.
Why else would he go out there and talk to these criminals and just like, hey, I'm James Bond, like right away, you know, like you don't just give up your name if you're a good spy.
Yeah,
you know.
Exactly.
So
I think 007 is more, you know, what differentiates him. It's like, oh, he's 007, okay, cool. But like, you know, the actual name is, I mean, James Bond is just the mantle that he holds on to, and that, you know, that's what people, you know, the reputation people know him by.
Exactly. And that's how you explain why there's so many actors with the same name, right?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100% on that one. I just think that at this point in time, people just want to be like, no, you know, people want to cling to it. Just similar to how people I've seen a lot of reactions to Michael B. Jordan potentially being the next Superman, and some people are cool with it, and there's a lot of people that really are just like, you know, how could you ever? And it's just like, dude, I can show you like different Supermen that were black, and the, you know, no, they were always, you know, it's just like, so I think it's one of those things where casual people who have come to know a character in a certain way only want it to be that way.
First of all, Superman's an alien.
Exactly.
Another planet.
Yeah. But, you know, try to explain that to people that don't know anything, you know, that don't know what's going on, and that, you know, as far as they know, they've grown up for the past, you know, 50 or so years, and Superman's always been this one thing, you know, truth, justice in the American way. But yeah, but you do realize he crash landed. Like that's you can't forget that part of the story too.
Right. And there's a story where he crash landed in Russia, and there's a story where he renounced his American citizenship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like a lot of people say, for a while he was actually an illegal in the country.
Yeah. Oh no. There's also, you know, where he became, he crashed an apocalypse and became basically like an evil warlord and everything. I mean, there's a million different stories. So Superman's whoever the writers want him to be, but people, you know, like you said, you know, just that confirmation bias or whatever it is, or just people who identify him as this will not let it go, and it's just like, well, you know, I mean, you know, he's not a real person. You know what I mean?
First of all, yeah.
The fictional character that's been played by these guys based on the image that was put in this, you know. So, you know, it just is what it is. And I really do think that, you know, I think that James Bond can be anybody he wants to be. I think that they just go with, you know, who they feel is the best choice for it. So, you know, he I think will be, Cable would be a great choice. I think Idris Elba would be a great choice. But whoever wins it out, more power to them. Right,
for sure. All right, so a couple of quick topics, and then I want to jump into the solicits, right? So that's kind of what we're going to end with. Actually, we're going to talk about Batman Damned after that. But so a couple of quick things. So we talked about the Eternals a while back.
Yep.
right? And it kind of makes sense because of the Eternals history, Thanos history. It all makes sense.
Yep.
Finally have a director for it, Chloe Zhao.
Right.
So that's confirmation. We're talking about confirmations that that project is really moving forward.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool. I don't know a whole lot about her. I mean, I know the story of Eternals, the Kirby stuff. And again, there's a omnibus in the Amazon link if you want to check it out. But that's cool that they're really moving forward with this. So I'm trying to see. She did The Rider. I guess that's what she is most famous for. So that won a lot at the Sundance Film Festival. So I guess that really like Zhao's meeting. She met with them. They saw her work, obviously, and it impressed them so much that they're like, "Hey, we got to get her. She's new, like talented, unknown. We got to lock her in before someone else gets to this lady." You know,
Yeah.
so.
And that's the thing I like about you know, their selection in some of these people, because just like you know, you look at it and it's just like, you know, I have no idea who this woman is. What has she done? What's she all about? And then you know, it ends up being someone that, you know, will go ahead and knock your socks off of what they know how to do.
Right.
And so I think too, on the other side of it, you know, having somebody who is you know, who is kind of relatively unknown, you know, you have like someone like Feige who's gonna, you know, go ahead and kind of help to oversee things. It's just like, you know what? I'm glad that, you know, we pick you just because this is the vision that we have. So, you know, this is where we want this to go. Can you, you know, we're gonna help shepherd you along to make this happen.
That's a good point. Yeah, they have like the kind of like the guardrails up of like, this is where the story needs to go. You do your thing, but at least she has like you said, like she's being guided towards that. So that for somebody new is helpful. Yeah,
exactly. Because that's the way I think about it. Was just like, all right, we'll shepherd you in, you do this, and you know, we'll be fine from there. So you know, that's where I think they go with it, and I think that's probably the better thing than to be like, all right, you're established, and you know, like, I'm gonna tell the story this way. It's like, yeah, no, please don't do it this way. Like, we have a formula, we're doing well. Please don't, you know, don't mess it up. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. So cool. That's pretty much all we know at this point. But I'm happy that that's moving forward. I like the Eternals. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Let's forget the Celestials also. So cool.
I know. That's what I'm looking forward to, because I want to see like, you know, the beings that you hear a lot about, but it's just like, you know, you have to go into different stories to actually get to figure out what's going on with them. So, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing them on camera, like to see more of them. So, or at least get a better explanation of them from, you know, maybe just, you know, the Eternals themselves, just because, you know, the only thing that we have of the Celestials is, you know, that dude sitting there with the Power Stone, like, you know, destroying that planet.
Exactly.
And I don't know. I know I should know who it is, but I don't off the top of my head, whether it's, you know, the judge or the this or the that. And I want to say that Kovac the Pursuer, Korath the Pursuer is an Eternal, or he's a Celestial. You know, it's all crazy.
Isn't he in Captain Marvel?
Yes, he's back in Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
because I think he was killed in the first Guardians movie.
Yeah, that actor.
He was Amistad.
Hansu. Yeah, he's really good.
Like, I love the reaction. I was like, Star-Lord, who?
Exactly. Yeah, so cool. Okay, so the next thing I want to mention before we get over to the solicitations for December is about Star Wars. So THR put together something. Hey, we love comics this year. Nice to have you with us. We're just running through some news, and we're going to get to the solicitations in a minute for December for Marvel and DC, just so you know where we are. So they were talking to THR, that is, was talking to Bob Iger about Star Wars, because they were doing this whole ranking story and just kind of the state of what's happening. You know, Solo came out, didn't do very well. I think it has the distinction of being the first Star Wars movie to actually lose money, right? So we had, you know, back the original movies, 3 of them, right? And not many for a long time. That's a good, like, I don't know, how 28 years, let's say. We had three to six movies if you go up to 2000. Since 2015, we've had like a ton of movies, like more in that like 3 to 4 year period if we include episode 9 than we had in like 2 decades before. So they were talking with Bob Iger about Star Wars fatigue, and what happened with Han Solo and why it didn't do well, So they basically, he said, it's my fault. We're doing too much too fast. Like, we had just gotten it. We were kind of like, I think that they were thinking they had like another MCU on their hands, basically. Yeah. So he said, what we're going to be doing now is be more careful about how much we put out, as well as the timing. Mm-hmm. So Solo, obviously there was some issues with the directors. They had to do a bunch of reshoots when the new director came on, and he really wanted to push the movie out to give more time. And Disney basically said, no, it's got to fit right into this in May. It's got to fit here. We're focusing all of our attention on Infinity War, which came out in May. So it came out before that, a few weeks. Do your thing, make it happen. And it didn't happen, basically. It's the story there. So it's kind of like, the movie didn't do well. So they kind of had to go back and just kind of like rethink things, kind of like redo their strategy on Star Wars, and what's coming up after episode 9, especially. They're still going to be doing a bunch, but I think that they're going to kind of it's going to be slowed down a bit, like it's just not going to be movie after movie after movie. And it's not going to be paired up with like Avengers 4 comes out 2 weeks later, we're not going to get a Star Wars type of thing. So that's good. And I think that, the phrase absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah.
Right? If they wait a while, people are going to miss Star Wars. It's what happened with the Fantastic Four, right? Stop the book for a while, and all of a sudden it's like one of the best. It was, I think, Lords of the Long Box mentioned it. One of the best-selling books for the last season. If you look at Comic-Con, I think he used the Comics 10V, but I like Comic-Con. I think it was like the number 1 or number 2 book for that month.
Yeah.
Where when it was coming out before, their excuse for stopping it, like right before Secret Wars in 2015, was it wasn't selling. But now it's like the best-selling book. So same thing with Star Wars. Like, people aren't going to the movies. They're getting kind of tired of it, right? It feels kind of rushed. So just wait. Just wait. We love comics. I know, I do understand that. There's a whole bunch of, things with that. But we're just talking about kind of the timing aspect of it, because that tied into the interview with Bob Iger and his quote about they're going to be doing a Star Wars slowdown. So that's kind of why I was focusing on that. So they are doing the 2 trilogies. They also have the for Disney Play. They have what's his name? Jon Favreau's series, and then an animated one as well. So, but that's kind of what I wanted to share with you guys, is that Bob Iger promised a slowdown, less volume, and better timing on when they actually come out.
Yeah, so. I mean, it's a smart thing to do, just because, I mean, I think that they have learned their lesson that nothing is too big to fail when it comes to movies and what people are, especially something like that. It's just like,
well, no, that's not entirely true. Solo, before that it seemed true, but Solo kind of changed that narrative. Like, you have this basically bulletproof franchise. It's Star Wars, right? Yeah. But then Solo came out, and look what happened. Solo proved that that it's not bulletproof. It can fail. You can take like the best thing, and if you mishandle it, it's not going to work. It's not going to.
Exactly, and I think that was their mindset. Was like, oh, this is too big to fail. Like, no matter what we give them, they're gonna love it. And it's just like, I mean, they had to learn that, and that, look, you really gotta like put this out in a good way, just because to intend on having Star Wars films every year for the next however many centuries that you plan on doing it, that's great. But you have to put out good stuff. You can't just sit there and just toss anything out there and be like, well, Star Wars fans will love it. It's like, you have a very dedicated and rabid fan base. You can't just mess with that stuff. That's the thing that I think that they weren't quite taking into account. And I mean, that goes for, you know, everybody who's in charge of it. We're just like, you know, we're just gonna put this out there. It's just like, yeah, well, you know, the problem with this is that, you know, episode 7, yes, you're gonna get everybody to come out and see it because, you know, it's been all these years since, you know, we've had a Star Wars movie. I'm going to see it. And then after that, it's just like, all right, well, you know, you're gonna get your opinions on it. Some people like it, some people don't. People in the middle, whatever. And then the next one, though, you have to follow that up with something big. And if you don't, or if it falls flat, then now you get the negativity and just everybody, you know, at you. And then so every mistake you make after that just becomes magnified, you know, that much more. So,
and that was The Last Jedi, and then the fallout, and I think We Love Comics mentioned it here. The fallout kind of trickled over to Solo. Like, people were so disenfranchised still, on top of the actual film being mishandled from a marketing perspective and a production perspective, that it was just ripe to fail despite being Star Wars, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Like, you know, with any entertainment, you can't sit there and say, well, we're too big to fail. You're not. Because I guarantee you that if you were to ask, I mean, and this is video games, if you were to ask Sega, you know, about the time when they had the Dreamcast out there and everything else, and she's like, oh, like, you know, so what are you guys gonna do when you guys, you know, plummet and don't do so well? Like, are you kidding me? We have the best machine on the market right now. Sonic games are selling like crazy. Like, we're going head to head with Nintendo. You know, Sony can't. You know, Sony's trying to keep up with us, but we're even putting out something better than what they have. And then what happened? Like, out of nowhere, you know, Sony stepped their game up, got things going, and, you know, there was more competition in there, and then the you know, really revolutionary machine that they thought that everybody wanted ended up having a lot of different issues, piracy being one of them, and it killed them. So it's just like, you know, I think that's just the thing that you have to think about, where it's just like, when you're at your most confident, that's when you're also at your most vulnerable, and you're also at your weakest in terms of what can get you. Everything can hit you now because you're not looking for everything. But when you're vulnerable and you're like, look, we need to take baby steps with this, you're watching out for every last little pitfall that you could possibly get into. And so, you know, that kind of gets you to think, you know, more cautiously. So
yeah, you can't rest on your laurels. You have to, like, you know, meet the expectation of people because you are on the top now. And then you also have all of your competitors coming at you to knock you off of that top, you know?
And I think the other thing too with that is that I think a lot of them, they didn't quite get, they took what they thought was, you know, George Lucas's mindset. And I think that George Lucas even kind of may have led them astray into being like, having that attitude where it's just like, you know, I don't give a damn what you people tell me you like. I'm doing this because this is my.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Exactly, you know what I mean? And that's where I think everything kind of went. Where they were just like, you know, they went ahead and they were just like, you know, because George Lucas had that attitude, and maybe that's what trickled down to Kathleen, you know, Kathleen Kennedy being like, we don't have to worry about what they're saying. Like, people still buy this stuff, no matter what they say. They still buy it. So I don't care what they say. Just sell it and see what happens. It's just like, yeah, no, people are different now. It's not like you know, where there's so many other options, and now technology is kind of caught up. Where it's just like, you know, all movies that they're gonna have, you know, big budgets are gonna have great effects. So you can't just rely on like, well, we're gonna put on the best visual show you'll ever see. No, you won't. I can show you a bunch of movies that are on par or better with, you know, than that.
Right.
That's the problem.
Yeah. Hey, when you hear the word Sega, what's the first thing that comes to your head?
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Thank you. I hear like the Sega and then the Sonic music.
Yep.
That's like the first thing. So I saw a couple people type Sega in the chat here, and
well, yeah.
I had while you were talking, I had that in my back.
Well, you know what's funny, because I was gonna bring that up. Like, it's like, you know, him as a character. You know, you had, you know, this franchise character that was, you know, at one point, you know, at war with Mario, and now who kind of owns? I mean, you know, I guess not they don't own it, but they've gone ahead and had the chance to license and make games. You know, Nintendo, the biggest competitor, the biggest rival, you know, went ahead and made games saying, hey, listen, Mario and Sonic are gonna, you know, run in the Olympics together. Sonic's going to be a character in this game with Mario. You know what I mean? It's almost like salt in the wound. It's just like, you know, because you guys thought you were better, but you weren't.
See, Woodard said it went from Nintendo to Nintendo. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Streets of Rage 2, best Genesis game of all time. You know, I liked Road Rash 2.
Road Rash 2 was great.
Yeah, and then there was one, I think it was called Interceptor. It was like a fighter plane game. That I loved that game. I played that so long. I think it was called FA-22 Interceptor, something like that. I'd have to look it up. But that was cool. So those two, and then Sega, and of course Mortal Kombat was good.
Yeah.
So
there was a ton of great games on there, and it's it's a shame that they're not around anymore. I mean, they make games, but like they're basically just like they license out, or they basically like license games out to other places. So they're still making software, but like as an actual company, they're dead and buried.
Yep.
So
all right, let's jump into solicitations.
Yes.
So we're gonna do first. We're going to take a look at. Am I presenting to everyone? How do I do it?
Yep. Thor and
take a look at Marvel. Shout out to Newsarama. I was going to use comicfrontline.com for this, but I was having an issue beforehand, so I loaded this one up. So next time we'll use Comic Frontlines. Just want to mention that. So these are for December. They come out. Solicitations come out monthly. Typically, they are about 2 months ahead of the shelf date when they're actually out. So these are going to be for December. Okay. So the first one we have here is, of course, Marvel. We have a continuation of the X-Men story. So this is in the aftermath of Extermination.
Yep.
It's called The Exterminated by, well, I know Chris Claremont, but I'm not familiar with Zach Thompson or Lonnie Nadler.
Me neither.
Yeah, so there's that. Dan Slott still doing Fantastic Four. We got an Adam Hughes cover, which looks like might be this one. That looks Adam Hughesy with the thick outlines. Maybe not. Or is it that one?
Yeah,
no, that's not. Nope.
No.
Different signature. That's Esad Ribic. Looks like.
Yeah, I was
an E and an R.
Yep.
So.
Oh, I see it. It's the one all the way on the left.
Yeah. So which one? He's saying $4.99. So X-Men is $4.99. It's 40 pages. That's a one shot. FF5 is probably it's $5.99. Oh, damn. 650th issue spectacular. So that's why. Still, $5.99. If you ask me, that's way too much for a book. A new comic, you know. And Alterna proves that you can do them for cheap. You know.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
I've been saying it for the last maybe 2.5 years. When comics reach $10, when that $10 price tag becomes commonplace, that's it for comics.
Mm-hmm.
No one's gonna buy new books. I'm telling you right now. I know for myself. Once it hits that, I'm done. I'm just gonna buy back issues and that's it.
We talked about She-Hulk earlier.
Yep.
Now that's how you introduce her. This is Art Germ.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm an Art Germ fan. You know, some people say he draws the faces similar. Like joking about how why is Supergirl on a Catwoman cover, you know, but I don't know. I like his style. This is Fantastic Four, the wedding special, and they are promising that the Thing and Alicia will be married. It's not like a bait and switch, you know. So we'll see. It's a $5 book, 40 pages.
Yep.
So that's 8 extra pages.
Ooh, look at that.
We got some posters, oversized vinyl posters.
There you go.
That's one poster. This is a classic John Byrne artwork here. Really cool. I like that. Love or hate Byrne, you know. He's a jerk, but he got talent.
He might be softening up in his old age because I expected him to be horrible, and he was a nice guy.
Yeah. Might be softening up. And now he's back on the circuit. These are all true believers. You get some villains in there.
Yeah.
We talked about this last week. Now we have a solicitation for it. X-Force #1, Ed Brisson. It'd be cool. It's pretty much the original team, but you throw in Cable as a baby Cable. And also Deathlock is part of this team now.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. It's a $5 book, another 40 pages.
Yep. I find him to be a little different in that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Deathlock, he's not really a mutant, more of a cyborg, but that's cool though. I have no problem with that.
Yeah. 5-part mini here. Killmonger. That's of course Michael B. Jordan.
Yep.
It's pretty cool.
Another guy that they killed.
Yeah. And we're there. And I know that Jay was talking about it when he reviewed these two. People were asking why Killmonger. Like, why the hell is Killmonger getting a book, a $5 book? They're just capitalizing on
Absolutely
current popularity. You know, obviously Black Panther, one of the best movies financially, you know, popularity wise of 2018. So they're capitalizing on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's Killmonger. This is December, so you're going to see a lot of like Christmas themed stuff. Seasons beatings here with Deadpool, and then you got a bunch of Spideys and Gwenpool up on the roof there. Talking about Spider-Man, do you have you played the game?
Yes, I have the game, and I've been playing it, and man, that game is so fun. I'm taking my time with it just because I'm doing a lot of the side missions just to be able to, you know, explore and just have as much fun as I can, you know, being Spidey and just kind of, you know, seeing the city and you know, all the rest of it. That game is very fun. And, you know, the craziest thing about that, I think it made $3 million in 3 days.
That's
crazy, man. It's the fastest selling PlayStation 4 game to date. So, I mean, like,
oh God, it's a ton of fun, man. I'm having a blast with that. I
mean, just you know, just to go around and you know, swing around the city and just all the different. I mean,
that's fun just by itself, right?
Yeah, well, the photo mode is crazy because I'm sitting there, people are like, oh yeah, like
the selfies.
You know, everyone's taking selfies everywhere and doing all this different stuff. You know, like it's funny that they integrated that into it, but it's just a fun, like a really fun game. People have been asking me, like, you know, so is it as good as Arkham? I was like, it's different. It's very close, but I have a lot more fun playing that than I did the first Arkham. I think the first Arkham was really fun, but it was a whole different tone. Like this, you can actually, you know, it's not as serious, so you can go ahead and, you know, have fun and just kind of, you know, goof around and everything. Whereas in Arkham, you know, you're looking for something specific. You know, you're trying to help Batman solve a crime.
Right. Yeah, there's a bunch of like side stories for this one. So here's Winter Soldier. And actually, I was looking at this, and I was thinking, actually, Winter Soldier would be a really cool series. You could do like a spy series, you know, kind of like La Femme Nikita style, you know. It would work well. I was looking at his artwork here. It's cool. I like motorcycles. Can't go wrong with a motorcycle. So we got some other things. Oh, Defender stuff. So they're doing the original Defenders theme, basically. So you got the Hulk. There's Hulk. Got Namor. Some cool Namor covers. I'm not like a Namor fan, but these aren't bad. This looks like Mark Brooks, if I had to guess. Oh, Chiquetto. Marco Chiquetto. Yeah.
Variant cover by Jack Kirby. You kind of scrolled up from it, but variant cover by Jack Kirby. Variant by Scotty Young. So that's kind of cool. Remastered Kirby cover.
Remastered, yeah.
Yeah.
Hulk. Adi Granoff. That's Adi Granoff.
That's nice. I like that.
It's got to be the Kirby remaster. Yep. You can tell by the face that's Kirby. Yeah. That is such a Kirby face. Stephen Strange is dead as a charred skeleton in an abandoned barn on the edge of a deserted town. Bruce Banner wants to know why, and he won't stop until he has truth in his hands, with or without the Immortal Hulk. Sounds interesting. Somebody burns Doctor Strange up. Okay, so yeah. Defenders. There you go. Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Got a Ditko. Let's see if we can pick out the Ditko. That's kind of like trippy Ditko right there.
A little bit, yeah.
That's a
Ditko right there.
That's more Ditko, yeah.
He used to draw the big foreheads.
And you know how you can tell it's Ditko? The hands.
Yep.
The way that, especially with the ghosts, he always has like not distorted, but like the fingers are like crooked and like the angles are weird. So yeah.
He was everybody with like long foreheads and stuff, like really long. Yeah. I like the way he would draw stuff though. Like he had some really good vision on how he used to draw some stuff.
Yeah, this is a really cool.
That's an awesome cover. Wow.
Yeah. This looks like a Joe Jusko card, like a trading. You know what I mean? But it's not.
Yep. Marvel masterpiece.
Scan. Yep, exactly. I think that's the Ron Garney cover. And that's the remastered John Buscema, I believe. Looks like it to me. That's a $5 book. A lot of $5 books.
See, now the tough part, because I like the Scotty Young covers and stuff, and it's just like that's a tough one because all 4 titles $5, and then this the Best Defense book is and then Superior Spider-Man, another Scotty Young. Jesus,
I like Superior. I'm glad that's back. Gage is on it. There's your Scotty, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, that's gotta be Scotty Young. Yeah, chibi style. That looks like Lupacino.
That's cool.
I guess they used to write Emanuela. I guess DC did. Marvel's doing Emma Lupacino.
Yeah.
This is the A cover for it. I'm gonna pick this up. I like Superior. Doc Ock is Spidey. Hell yeah. Miles. Saladin Ahmed. He's got some issues in social media. Won't get into that here. Spider Force by Judas Priest. I'm just kidding. Spider Girls. That's wrapping up. Jody Hauser's book.
But again, 5 of 5.
Yep. I think this is the one. Yeah, this is the one with the Inyuk Lee connecting covers. So all of these are gonna have. See how it's all different Spideys. Each one is like that. See that one right there?
Yep.
I don't know if you can see my mouse.
That's like Dinosaur Spidey.
With the 5. No, it looks like it reminds me of Beetlejuice. Yeah. Yeah. Peter Parker. We got Jeff DeCall. I think he's local to me. I see him at all my conventions.
The hand. There's so many titles just for that.
Ghost. Here's Alice Eve's book. Just kidding. It's Typhoid Mary.
Yep.
Afu-chan is doing the cover.
Which is funny because it's just like, Typhoid Mary I don't think has ever had a standalone title, and now she's getting one because she's going to be, in this series. So exactly.
Same thing like with Killmonger. Same idea. This one looks cool to me. I like the Infinity Warp stuff. I'm going to be checking these out. So this is Wolverine and Power Pack combined.
Oh, wow.
That's what they're doing for that.
That's a little like the mashups.
Well, he's mashing up with what's her name? The lady. Oh God. I don't know. But it's the Punisher pack.
Yep.
So he's diamond. See that?
Yep.
Diamond claws. His skeleton's diamond.
Yep.
And got the Punisher back. So these are cool. And then we'll have to figure out how Gamora is gonna undo everybody. Guardians. Look at Groot's face there. He doesn't look too happy.
He looks kind of demonic.
Yeah, he does. It's like an evil Groot.
Jackie was saying,
so this might be a spoiler, folks. So fair warning. This is Infinity War Sleepwalker. This might talk about how they're going to be undoing it. Yeah, Emma Frost. Thank you. I couldn't think of her name.
I thought that's where you were going with it. I was just like,
yeah.
But I just couldn't tell with the monocle. She would wear a monocle.
Yeah. So this might be talking about how things are going to be kind of unwarped,
Yeah.
Sleepwalker is definitely trying to save the mindscape from being devastated by the chaos in Soul World. Can his warp vision even make sense of the madness? Ghost Panther just sounds really cool. I don't know about you, but that just sounds cool.
It looks cool.
Yeah. Infinity Wars, Infinity #1.
Oh my
That's interesting. Wow. They're doing that's like, I don't know. What comes after Infinity? Hey, a $4 book. It's kind of weird. I'm like, they're training me to think a $4 book is cheap.
Yeah, no.
Then we got Uncanny.
Yep.
Lots of those. Marvel Knights. Trying to get to some of the highlight stuff. Immortal Hulk still going strong. Champions with Jim Zub. That kind of ties into Chelsea Kane and her issues with her Vision book being canceled before it even came out. Here's a holiday special with a Harley Quinn looking chick.
Yeah. Very Harley.
Yeah. We got Rogue, Gambit, and is it Captain Hanukkah? Oh no, what does Magneto do for? I misread that. Sorry, I don't know who that is. Charlemagne the God is writing that. That's interesting.
Seriously?
Yeah, so it says Charlemagne.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna pick that.
Huh.
Even if I was intrigued, I'm not picking it up. Charlemagne, what are you doing?
They gave him a Christmas special of all things. So these are always pretty interesting, and sometimes they go for some good money, at least for a little while. It's a quick flip if you need it to be. Prequel book for Avengers.
For the movie?
I guess that's what I'm assuming, because when they put like prelude and stuff on there, I always think that. And this is December, so you know
that makes sense.
It's one of 3, so December, January, February. Yeah, that would put us right up to the movie.
Yep.
Thor, West Coast. Sorry, Spidey. Venom still going.
Black Panther versus Deadpool. Deadpool's gonna fight everybody in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Like,
there you
go. That fight wouldn't last long. I'm sorry. Like, I don't care what anyone says. Like, Shallow would destroy Deadpool.
E-Viewing's book. Punisher. That's pretty much it for.
Oh, Old Man Hawkeye ends in December. Okay, I like it. I can deal with that.
Unstoppable Wasp. We're getting into some of the other stuff now. Shuri's book is still going.
That's another cash in right there, because everybody wants. Everyone loves how Shuri, was in the movie and everything else. But yeah, man, that looks cool. Wow.
Black Order.
Hold on. So that's Proxima Midnight, Corvus Glaive, Black Dwarf, and I think the other one is Black Swan, like the blonde haired chick.
Yeah, looks like it.
That's crazy.
Phillips hand carve. That the color on the chains really pops.
Black Order 2 of 5.
Yeah,
that looks really cool. I'll be picking that up.
Yeah. Why does Wolverine have a? I don't know. Take the Time collectibles. Brian B says Typhoid actually had a 4-issue miniseries in the 90s. I vaguely remember it. Yeah, I think it came out of like her story from the Daredevil, where she was like in the early 300s. I think. I don't know. I'm just going off my head.
Her first issue is 254.
Yeah. We Love Comics. Looks like Scarecrow. I think he's talking about the group picture.
Yeah.
Brian says he has to go. Prior obligation. Thanks for catching the show. Cool. So thanks for taking the time with us. I know you have to go, so thanks for popping in while you had the chance. Hopefully you can catch the rest later. Return of Wolverine. It's one of those. Okay.
Yeah. You want to talk about a book that got torpedoed?
Yeah.
That thing got demolished this week.
The whole Hot Claws thing, I'm just not okay. So this combines 2 of my favorite things. I really like X-23, and I really like Ashley Witter as an artist. She does a lot of the Dr. Aphra covers.
Yeah.
So her doing an X-23 cover, I'm all about it. So, Dead Man Logan. There you go.
Dead Man Logan. Wow.
Dead Man Logan, number 2 of 12.
That's probably how you get rid of Old Man Logan. All right.
Yep. So basically, he's old. It's the same idea where like the adamantium is killing him, you know. So they're going down that route again. Sully and Ahmed still on Exiles. Deadpool Shatterstar is going to 5. That's part 3 there. It's a very busy cover. Okay. It's a different type of Shatterstar. He doesn't have his headgear.
Nope.
But he does have a dog. That's funny. Deadpool number 7. So I feel like that book is going on hiatus or something. Taking a month break. I don't know.
I wouldn't doubt it, because Scotty Young, he does a lot of different projects, and he's also writing Bully Wars for Image.
Okay. Yep.
So I think kind of like just bounces around.
I like how this looks. It's weird.
It's like he's pulled apart.
Yeah. And she's like, no, let me just save this half of you. Here we have Philip Tan's been busy. Got Weapon H there.
Yep.
Swamp Thing. I mean, Man Thing.
Can hear my daughter. Hold on.
Morgan Le Fay. All right. Gail Simone's Domino is still going strong. That's a pretty cool cover. That looks a lot like Greg Horn to me, but I don't think it is. It's Gang Yak Lim doing that. X-Men, Mr. and Mrs. X is still going. Then we get into some Star Wars stuff. All right, that's it for Marvel. Now we'll pop over to. Whoops, I almost hung up. Sorry, hit the wrong button. So I don't know if you guys see anything in there that you were particularly interested in. Either let me know here in the chat, or go ahead and leave a comment afterwards when this is on demand, and let me know what you wanted to see from there. So we're gonna do DC next. I do want to tell you that there are a couple things missing from this solicitation for DC, and then the reason for that is because some of them actually come out right around Christmas, I think, that Wednesday, and they're not really having any books come out on that day. So Action's not on here. These are monthly books, Batgirl, and then Heroes in Crisis are going to be missing from here. Heroes in Crisis just got bumped up to an extra 2 issues. So instead of 7 issues, now you're going to have 9 issues for Heroes in Crisis. And it was December 26th is the day. So all of those books that were planned for the release on that date are going to be coming out on January 2nd. Okay. January is a 5 Wednesday month, by the way. So that's it for that. That's what I wanted to say, just to kind of preempt that. Anything $2.99, right? Hold the line at $2.99. Let's hope they can do that. So let's jump right into these. This is December. And the first book we have on the December solicit is The Batman Who Laughs, #1. This is Scott Snyder, Jock. A Batman Who Laughs is the Batman who always wins. And this is, of course, the Batman from DC Knights Metal. So that should be pretty cool. This is, unfortunately, a $5 book, 6-part mini, 3 covers, right? So DC is getting back to their ratio variants and incentive variants, not just an A and B cover, right? So there you go. And that is Jock, right? There you go. 1 to 6, $5 book. Batman of the Outsiders is returning from Brian Hill and Dexter Stoy. This is Tyler Kirkham cover. We have Katana. Looks like a couple other people. Black Lightning, I couldn't think of it. Batman, The Signal, and another person. Orphan. Yep, exactly. They're doing it too. Freedom Fighters. There's a $4 book, Robert Venditti, Eddie Barrows. So line up for this all-new maxi series set on Earth X, where the Nazis won World War II. 20 years after invading and occupying America, Germany wiped out all metahuman resistance, including the original freedom fighters. Fast forward to the present day, and a new team emerges to challenge the Nazi occupation once again. 12-part epic, Death of a Nation, kicks off here. So 1 to 12. It is a $4 book. Okay. Here's something I am not familiar with at all. It's called Goddess Mode. Okay, so this is our Robbie Rodriguez's new book. Let's not talk about what Robbie Rodriguez did. We all know what he did. If you're not, look up EVS, Robbie Rodriguez. Oh, God. So anyway, I guess he's going over to DC now. Give up Spider-Gwen. Now he's doing this. In the near future, where humanity's needs are provided for by a godlike AI, it's a young woman's horrible job to do tech support on it. Cassandra Price's life changes forever when she discovers a hidden digital world beneath our own. Okay, interesting. Martian Manhunter is getting a book. With a Middleton's been on fire lately, so let's check that out. Okay, that's cool. Looks cool. John Jones, you're not prepared even if you do know about him. There you go. That's a $4 book. Okay, a lot of $4 books here. New Talent Showcase. Mags Vasaggio's in it. Sonia Anwar. Joey Esposito. A few others. That's an $8 book. Enjoy that one. Sasquatch Detective. I don't know. One shot. Prestige format. $8 book. Okay. won't be getting that. Sorry, folks. Super Sons is continuing. 5. This is another maxi series. So 5 of 12. Peter Tomasi is continuing along with that. Brian Hill on American Carnage for Vertigo. That's a pretty dramatic cover, I'd say. Another $4 book. Yeah, I haven't seen any $2.99 books there. We Love Comics yet. We have Aquaman. KSD is doing it. Middleton's doing a cover there. Let's check that out. Okay. The Sea Kings gets a new team. There you go. Kelly Sue DeConnick, Robinson Rocha, and Daniel Enriquez. Batman 60 is a $4 book. Okay. There you go. Michael Janin. That's the A cover. Partnering with the Penguin. I have that. This book is on my pull list, so I get it automatically. Issue 61. It's $4. I knew that they were increasing that slowly. I know they did the monthlies, but it looks like they're doing the bi-weeklies as well. The annual 3. Annual 3 already. That's crazy. That's a $5 book. Kings of Fear, $4 book. That's a 6-part mini. Border Town, I don't know. We'll look at it. Death Blooms, Border Town. Okay. I think that came out this week, right? Border Town. Did any of you read it? Let me know. Catwoman with Joelle Jones. Art Germ will still be doing it. We can see at least up to issue 6. That's the A cover there. Joelle Jones cover. That's continuing. We have, yeah, there you go. Cover is still going. Bendis' book. Brimstone. Damage is continuing. Hello. There you go. Here's some $3 books. Chris was talking about that, so there you go. $3 books, $2.99. Damage is $2.99. 32 pages. Deathstroke by Judas Priest. I love that joke. Two-Face and Deathstroke. There you go. Pretty cool combo. Tyler Kirkham cover. Deathstroke finally meets his match. Arkham Asylum. Now an inmate, Slade Wilson must prove his sanity so he can stop an alien invasion. Before he can even attempt a breakout, he's got to face off against angry Arkham inmates out to get him. And what's Two-Face's role in all this mayhem? He keeps showing up in places 2 at once. Meanwhile, his daughter, Rose Wilson, is kidnapped. Did Jericho save his sister? We're barreling towards issue 1000 on Tech. Peter Tomasi is writing that. This is issue 994. $4 book. And we have a pretty neat cover there.
Do they end up learning from the lesson that they did, the mistake they made with Superman 1000 or Action 1000?
I have a feeling we're going to get the decades variants. Yeah, I have a feeling they're going to do it.
Basically the equivalent of a clip show with comics.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sandman, this has been kicking off pretty strong. I haven't read it, but I know a lot of people have been picking it up. Sandman, this is The Dreaming, issue 4. It's a Cy Spurrier with Bilquis Evely. And this is a Jay Lee cover. You can really tell that's really Jay Lee style right there, right? There you go. Here's another one I don't know. Electric Warriors. I don't know. Planet Covenant is live.
Oh, look at that.
Steve Orlando. That's pretty, I don't know, phantasmagoric, I would say. Just wanted to use that word. Flash. I know a lot of people are getting this. Josh Williamson. There you go. Introducing the new Strength Force user. So you're getting a new character there.
Yep.
Green Arrow. We'll show this in case Justin watches the show later. Julie Benson's on it. This is it looks like I don't know, that's Cary Andrews' signature, so it must be Alex Maleev, maybe, or Edmond Peralta. Oliver Queen is in for the shock of his life in the electric chair. Vigilante citizen kidnaps Oliver and subjects him to the court of public opinion on a worldwide broadcast, and a guilty verdict means a death sentence. It's up to Black Canary and Kate Spencer to rescue Ollie. There you go. Matina. This might be Liam Sharp. This is Green Lanterns. It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
See that in the background? There's a mountain with it's a volcano, and it's got a face on it. And the Green Lantern.
I'll say it looks like ET, but really evil.
Yeah. At first, I thought that was a 4. I just glanced really quick, but it's a lantern. Hal Jordan interrogates a member of the Spider Guild for answers and uses his pheromones as an interrogation tool. Meanwhile, Volgar Rowe makes a play for Earth while its Emerald Protector is off-world. There you go. Here's some Holiday Harley. I don't know if she's being naughty or nice there. That looks like Gil March. Yep, it is.
Whose cup is that? That's disgusting.
Yep. That's a $4 book. That's $35 for Harley, $36. Let me pop over to the chat here. All right, I gotta make some dinner before it's too late. Cool. Thanks for popping in. I'm glad to have you here. And come back. Watch the rest of the show because we are going to talk about The Damned in a second. So, thanks for joining us and enjoy your dinner. So menopause with cat burglars. I get it. Haha. Hawkman. I know that Justin likes this quite a bit as well. Venditti's book. Pretty cool. Brian Hitch cover. You getting that one at all, or?
No, like as much as I think Hawkman's a cool character, but I've never picked up any of his books.
Yeah.
He's someone I pick up in trade and just kind of try to keep up, just because from what I know of him, he's kind of a confusing character.
He's got so many origins.
Yeah.
that's really like, Hawkman does. I mean,
yeah.
And which we have here. It says, let's take a trip to Hawkworld in part 1 of a new totality-related storyline. I guess that's a new event coming from him. Martian Manhunter John Stewart and Hawkgirl avoided drowned Earth with a detour to Thanagar Prime. John Jones, Martian Manhunter, looks to tap into the ancient Martian mental database. Green Lantern struggles while practicing his new UV powers, and Kendra searches for answers about her connection to the totality. So there's a big story called Totality on the way. Justice League Dark from Tynan, James Tynan IV. Is the Blue Devil detective about to chop up Detective Chimp?
What Detective Chimp?
What a jerk. Yeah, why would he do that to a little chimp? Odyssey's still going strong. They don't have a cover for it. Let's see here. Lucifer. There we go. Mad Magazine. This looks like street art. That's kind of cool.
Stop.
Oh. Nightwing. So I guess we could. This is pretty much it. We'll talk about a few more. This comes out of Batman 55. So they're doing a really big change with Nightwing. Like they're changing up like a lot of stuff with him. Like he's going to be forgetting some stuff. It's a whole new chapter for him. One of the things, and there's a kind of a joke going along with it, but one of the things that they're doing is actually changing his name. So he's no longer going to be called, like, maybe still Grayson, but not the Dick anymore. So the joke there is that he's losing his, but Batman would just got his, you know? But Nightwing 54 is part of that big status quo change with Nightwing. It says the repercussions of the cataclysmic events of Batman 55 continue as a scarred Dick Grayson has given up his vigilante persona in favor of a normal existence. New job, new friends, new life. All are compromised when a safe house full of old Nightwing gear falls into the wrong hands. And it goes on. So will Dick Grayson answer the challenge by becoming Nightwing, ... or something else? The new chapter in the evolution of Dick Grayson reaches its next level. So yeah, they're doing a really big change with him. Nightwing 55 continues as well. Wait, what? I just feel like 54. That's a bi-weekly book, I guess.
Yeah.
Pretty much same verbiage there. So continuation of that story. Bendis's book there. That's a pretty cool cover, actually.
she get? She has to learn.
Michael Gatos. Michael Gatos did a lot of the art in for like the Netflix, like Jessica Jones. If you see like art up on the walls in the apartments,
Oh, all
it's
right.
actually like Michael Gatos artwork.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Red Hood. So they took out so it's just Red Hood Outlaw now. So they changed that up. Just a slight change, but enough to be noticeable. So Batwoman joins the fight. So we get Kate and Jason here.
That looks like the Hulk.
You're gonna live.
I'm pretty sure it's probably like Solomon Grundy or
in the
something.
background?
Just like the Hulk.
Might be Damage.
Yeah.
It does look like the Hulk. You're right. Appleton. That's his name. Okay, so Tat has to go. Thanks for popping in. A lot of people are going to dinner. I think I got to do that too. A lot of you West Coast folks are about to have dinner now. Right? Iron Galactus says, I want to like Pearl, but the story needs to develop more. I agree with that completely. Yep. Maybe it will be better in trade. Yeah, that's true. That might be a good, trade weight book that we get the full arc, the full story, because that first issue or two, it didn't do much.
Yeah.
That's the best way to put it. Here's Scooby, Keith Giffen. Keith Giffen's a cool guy. He's fun to like meet at conventions.
I haven't met him yet.
That's kind of cool. It's got like a Turtles vibe to it. Like Ninja Turtles vibe.
Yeah.
While the resurrected Fred Jones unleashes his army of monsters on Scooby, Daphne continues to spiral further into guilt and depression, terrified of losing Fred twice. Wow, this is not a kid's book. Fortunately, the gang has another secret weapon, Scrappy-Doo, and his mysterious mentor. Plus, the trial of Adam Ant continues as another member of JLA tests the super insect, which you saw there, the frogs, to see if he's worthy of joining the league. So,
Hey,
this looks like more the kids.
Like, why is he evil?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, here's a book that I'm not this particular issue, but just the book itself. I'm looking forward to quite a bit. This is Shazam. Jeff Johns writing Shazam, so he's doing a couple books. He stepped away, but he's still doing some writing for Marvel. So he's gonna be doing this, 3 Jokers, and a couple other things have been announced. But I've been waiting for a Shazam book ever since Rebirth, basically. So Sideways is up to issue 11. That's a $3 book. I know people were asking about $3 books. Suicide Squad will be just about to issue 50. I'm a bit underwhelmed by Suicide Squad. I don't know about you, but haven't really.
I haven't read it. I wasn't falling into that. I wasn't falling into that trap.
Yeah, I started it with Rebirth, and I just quickly fell off of it. It was meh. It wasn't bad. It just didn't capture my attention like some of the other ones. And I was trying to like chop down my list too, so that was just one of the casualties of that. This is a resolicit. It was supposed to come out a long time ago. It's Suicide Squad Black Files. Trapped inside her soul taker sword, the soul of Katana is torn between staying with her murdered husband or rejoining the world of the living. Meanwhile, Cobra's Queen Eve makes nefarious use of Katana's body as she infiltrates the Suicide Squad.
That sounds terrible.
Sounds cool, right? That's a $5 book. Resolicit 2 I like this cover. Other than the fact that she's so close to that much kryptonite. But that's a pretty cool cover. By Doug Mankey, I think. Jamie Mendoza. So there you go. Superman's continuing.
Okay. I keep my head.
So you go. Ivan Rice. Adam Hughes is doing a cover. Teen Titans is really pushing Crush.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a really awkward pose, but okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why she's standing like that.
It's like,
Right.
because I don't know what she looks. It's almost like someone took a picture of her from behind. It's like,
I know. Yeah, that's a $5 book. Issue 25. I think it's like you ever seen people like swinging chains around in the movies. You have to like kind of like use your whole body for momentum to get it to like swing around. I think if I'm just trying to like not make it look weird, I think she's like in the middle of one of those like swinging it around with, you know, momentum from your body type of thing. Right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay, so unexpected is, I don't know, Ronan Kluke. I don't know what that is. Neon, the Unknown, Firebrand, and Hawkman unwittingly discover the birthplace of the nth metal isotope. Interesting, but there's a catch. It exists outside of the multiverse in the dead world of Nil, guarded by one of the Tempest Fusionauts, who's already passed his judgment. Wow, that sounds pretty heavy.
Where Batman Who Laughs and all that shit was from.
Yeah. The underside. Mr. Unknown said, nope. She's got gas. That's a simple cover, but I kind of dig it. United States of Murder Inc. This is Valentine Gallo. Wonder Woman. I've been really liking the Jenny Frison covers. They're just really, really, really nice. This is Terry Dodson, though.
Yep.
Number 60, that's continuing the G. Willow Wilson. This is interesting. If you do like Art Germ's art style, they're coming out with this. It's $25, 42 pages, 12 by 16, so it's kind of big, and it's poster portfolios. Heavy cardstock, big 12 by 16. Just so you know, kind of a reference. The art prints that you get at conventions are 12 by 17. Mm-hmm. So they're just a little bit shorter, right? Shorter than those would be. But pretty oversized, and it's all Art Germ stuff.
That's cool.
Collection includes 20 of Art Germ's most memorable, there we go, DC covers. That's pretty cool. They're going to do a series of these. So Jim Lee, Frank Cho, and stuff is coming up according to this. That sounds cool. Here's an absolute Swamp Thing. It's a hardcover.
That's cool.
Alan Moore stuff. It's $100, 432 pages.
You can't get mad at that.
Yeah. That is like classic. If you're a comic fan, that's one of the things you should read is Alan Moore's Swamp Thing. Highly recommend it. Adam Strange trade. We're getting into the trades now. Silver Age, Adam Strange, Gardner Fox. Yeah, that goes way back. Carmine Infantino. Yeah, Mike Sikowski. Yeah. So this cover is Showcase 17 to 19 and Mystery in Space 53 to 79. This is where Adam Strange meets Alana and her father Sardath. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so we're getting into the trades now. I know people. Yep. So cool. All right, so that pretty much covers it in terms of Marvel and DC. There are a bunch of others like Image and all the other independents who do this as well with the solicitations. And if you guys like that and we go over them, we can do maybe a separate show on that or something else just to kind of touch on some of the other stuff. But we just want to get the kind of the big ones in there right away. So the last thing we're going to mention to you guys, or talk about, I should say, is Batman the Dam #1. I didn't get to read it myself, but I am aware of the panels. So I don't know how I feel. So people got upset or whatever. I'm not upset about that at all. But I'm kind of, I don't know how I feel about. So I guess let me backtrack a little bit. So they released it digitally, of course, in addition to the print. First print has it digital. They airbrushed out the crotch area. It's black, right? Mm-hmm. And then for subsequent printings, which inevitably we're going to get, they are going to be doing the same thing, airbrushing out the Bruce Wayne. I don't know how I feel about that. This comes from Black Label, right, which is geared towards mature audiences, adult themes is how it was built, and it's supposed to, through that, give people more artistic freedom, I guess, versus the other stuff where they're more beholden to kind of like the DC, principles or what have you.
Yep.
Which to me, I think is more like a wholesome image. But Black Label is supposed to be kind of like where you can let go and kind of just do that thing. So I get that they're kind of like trying to do a little bit with the DC, what you need to do to be for DC. But I feel like it cuts into like freedom of speech and artistic expression, which is what you're supposed to be able to do based on what I understand from the Black Label thing. So I kind of I disagree that they should be airbrushing it out. Maybe digitally fine or give the option of one or the other. But I don't think that they should be covering up Lieber Mayo's art, So that part I don't particularly agree with. Let me see the comment. Iron Galactus says both shops were given a preview copy with no word that showed that art. Shop owners should have paid attention. It's a mature label. Exactly, right. So, it's kind of like when you go to a movie and they say, oh, it's R-rated or, NC-17 or PG-13. It has that M on it. Or mature. So that should make you aware that there may be mature themes visually or, thematically or, in the art. So I don't know how you feel about it, but.
Well, I mean, I wasn't expecting it. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
So what I read it. The story is good. The art is very good. It was something that the cover actually matched. The interior matched the cover as far as it being good.
Right.
What happened with all that is obviously people saw what it was and everything else, and it was just like, oh. Okay. So, everybody kind of, had their opinions on it and everything, but when it comes to it, I think that it's not that big of a deal. I mean, if you're reading it as a mature reader, as an adult, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. But, obviously if it can get in the hands of kids and stuff like that, then that's on the shop owners and the parents and everything else that, should be.
I agree with that.
And everything like that.
Yep.
So I'm with you as far as it's supposed to be a mature title, so going ahead and censoring it doesn't. I mean, I think it's kind of stupid, and it actually makes me concerned for what's coming next, because just like I hope they don't go ahead and censor out things that they were gonna allow to happen initially, and then all of a sudden now they're gonna sit back and.
Right. It's a bad look for what they told us was supposed to be like the whole idea for having the Black Label, right? So. Like you said, it's kind of like, well, what is it going to be that edgy or that mature or whatever? What people want from who are going to be seeking those out, or are they just going to cut it back to, censorship? So,
one of these are the small
ones. Like you said, it makes me wonder, like, how is that trickling down to the next books coming out?
Oh, exactly. So. Because that's what I think. That's where I see it going. And I mean, honestly, as much as they want to be like, ahead of it and not being, I guess looking at it as a negative and all these, just all this different stuff. There's the other side of it where it's just like, this book came out, and if it was mature without, the bat wang or whatever people are calling it, it's
Bruce
still,
Wayne.
Yeah, but like, would it have become the popular book for the week? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, effectively, what it did do is, it shut down the Return of Wolverine. Just because, I mean, while people went and bought that, I mean, the book that everyone's looking for and going after now is this Batman Damn #1. What book is people going to be looking forward to? Because it's only 3 books, so it's just like 3 books, and it's it comes out every 2 months, so it's just like that's what people are going to want to see how that all comes to be. So
right.
What they should do is stick to their guns. I mean, if you're going to put out a I guess censored version of it, that's fine. Make that the second print, that's perfectly fine. But don't censor everything else going forward. I mean, I have a feeling that we won't know. You know what I mean? If they do that, just because if they're going to do it preemptively, we'll have no idea. But I think that you know,
they could bag it, put a warning on it, you know,
well, that's
warning
what I was
label,
thinking. Yeah,
you know,
bag it,
more obvious.
that takes care of everything.
Mm-hmm.
But
Hmm.
who knows? I mean, who's to say? I mean, who's to say that there's going to be any more nudity in, you know, this, you know, title? Because if there's not, then there's no need for the bag.
Right. And truth be told, that's not like, you know, it's not critical to the story, you know, it's just
No, not even
the
close.
way Lee Bermeo just thought he would look, you know, without the suit on.
Well, I
So,
mean,
it's not like there has to be, you know, going forward. It's like it may or not be. It depends. But
his whole premise was the fact that, you know, this is supposed to be uncensored. I'm just gonna go for this, you know, and like it's not major to the story at all. It's just people like, what's that? What's going on with this? How could you, you know?
Yeah, it's true. The other crazy part of the story is that it's now a $45 book on eBay. So people are basically speculating on that appendage. It's funny. Yeah. It's kind of crazy. I think it used to be, I forget who did it. Maybe Jimmy Fallon or somebody like that put up a thing that's like, I remember the days when bat nipples were enough.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
So that's funny. So I don't know. That's pretty much it for the show, guys. Do you have anything else you want to, like, you know, talk about or share with the folks? We're getting up to the 2-hour mark. So
yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay, cool. So definitely check out Boston Chris Comics YouTube channel. Content going up. You know, good stuff too. Really good book. So definitely make sure you subscribe, watch videos, like channel here. If you like this content, definitely you know, there's more coming. So if you're new here, definitely hit that subscribe button, notification bell. We do this show every Thursday. We also have it as audio. iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Podbean, you name it, wherever your favorite podcast is streamed from. So check that out. Also check out comicbooked.com. Our good friend and fellow panelist Justin does the new comic list every Wednesday, so you can check that out there. And our good friends over on Comic Frontline are coming up very shortly to do a live show, but they have content up pretty much daily, so go ahead and check out them as well. Again, they're our good friends, so want to make sure we shout them out.
Yep.
And that is it. This is issue. This is episode 101. We'll see you guys in the very near future with episode 102. Have a good weekend, everybody.